the thing is, everybody's famous now, right? With social media. So it's like everybody's famous with social media now. And it used to be like, you know, those bougie people go to bougie parties for like the notoriety of I shook hands with so and so and whatnot, and that was kind of like the stereotype. But now that everybody's a little famous, it's like we're all just kind of doing that, like, because like everybody is a minor celebrity now because of social media, and so like everybody is kind of behaving that way. It feels like a higher level of affluence, but then like, and then that gives you the that opens up a market to make something like that happen. Fans, like a lot of celebrities talk about fans coming up and like they don't even want to like really talk to them or tell them what they like. They just want to take a picture and put it on Twitter to say like, I met so and so, and I forget who was talking about that, but he was like I wasn't really having like, that's not fan interaction, that's just like me being used for their clout or something like that. Somebody was really sad about that. I can't remember who. My parents lived in Japan for several years. The best time ever was the festivals, Horizon, Rising, Fire in the Sky. Yeah, I love stuff like that. People hold their phone to record concerts instead of listening to it. Yeah. Yeah, well, because like there's so much value associated in raising your like your status, you know, like, and whatnot. I mean, you know, and that gets back to what we were saying earlier about like half of your life feeling as if it is on the internet now, or like just in this abstraction, right? As opposed to as opposed to I mean, well, I guess I kind of being in reality now. And so if half your life is online, and then if online your dopamine hits come from your likes and your tweets and your favorites, like your brain is rewired, and your value systems are like, more than me taking in this firework experience, it's probably more valuable for me to record it and share it and see if I can generate like value for that, which is funny because it's value for a company that's selling ads. Why is our nice guys terrifying? I'm better than you because I just happened to meet someone. Oh, I'll give like, yeah. I mean, our nice guys is just kind of like, it was like some of the posts were funny, but when I really stopped and read a lot of it, it was just kind of like, you know, that gets into that incel MGTOW, just like the anger, at, I don't know, women should love me, and now I'm furious that they don't, and I'm like, I don't know, violent. Like, I mean, that's a whole nother subject, honestly. Man. Service in Russia, 1,000. They style you up in a private jet, take photos you can put on Instagram. You can an empty Gucci LP shopping bags. Power? What is power washing for? It's like, what's your Starbucks name? MGTOW Warrior. That's awesome, Fang. I knew it. I knew it. Like, it had to be there. Like, yeah, just rent wealth and fame, put it on Instagram. I mean, it was only a matter of time, right? It was like, you ask kids nowadays, really, really young kids, right, what they want to be, and they were like, I want to be a YouTuber, I want to be a streamer, like, but it's like, that's like so like, but then there's like, it's kind of like the bar for being famous, like there was like kind of this big jump and this big gap you kind of had to take, right? But now it's more like being an influencer is more like being an NBA player, where like there's a lot of people like on the basketball court. All you need is a basketball and some hoops, or all you need is a soccer ball, or a football, right? And some goals, and you can like feel like you're moving towards that dream. And it didn't used to quite be like that for just plain being famous. But now with social media, it feels like there's more of a clear kind of path there, I think. And I think that's why services like taking pictures on a jet you can't really have. You know, maybe some people are goofing and memeing and doing it, but like, you know, that's why those kind of become more valid, I'd say, because you feel like you can climb that path. Oh man, that's why I deleted Facebook. Don't read from real drugs, not online. Choosing beggar, simple formula, make people fake text conversations for fake internet points. I did start to feel like some of them were fake too. That's honest. Honestly, yeah. Important to me. Phones to me to take over the world is breathe in the moment, mental and physical help to stop, breathe, let whatever's happening sink in, deep in my bones, feel reality, know it's real. Phone, Facebook, etc. Yes. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, you know, all these places, they don't have your best interests in mind, right? Like, you're like, the sites, you're ultimately a number, and, I mean, maybe Twitch is not as good at this, because it's like 1/100th the size of YouTube, right? So maybe that's a good thing, but, you know, it's about monetizing you as best that they possibly can, and constantly pinging your phone, constantly, they want you to live on their sites because they make the most money that way. And it's weird because like that's it's very much a part of life. It's very normal and very integrated now, and very much it's very much society as it is now, right? And it's like something we're not culturally adjusted to yet, where it's not like, there is no culture of time away from the computer. There is no culture of telling your kid that they need to spend less time on the phone so they don't grow up like, you know, in all that dopamine. I mean, because we don't really understand it yet. It just hasn't, and it hasn't been very long. But yeah, Ducky, yeah, basically, I love that half my day is outdoors right now. It keeps me a happy man. Positives: want to perform, entertain YouTube people. It's easy to make. They think it's easy to make millions. Yeah, well, it's the same thing. Oh god, that just gets me to another topic. That gets me into another topic of that gets me into another topic of like esports. And like that kind of comes full circle to when I realized people were getting so serious about their video games, and it was almost kind of dark in some ways, but it's just there's so much possible money in these sort of things that like it's changed the values towards it and the legitimacy of it to people, even though there's not really that much money in esports. It's like investor capital that whew, excuse me. But yeah. So live for love. And think about your well-being. I barely use Facebook. I mean, the main thing about social media, there was a point where it was driving me crazy a couple of years ago, and I was there from the very beginning of Facebook when it was colleges only, because I was in college at the time. And then like as things kind of changed, I was like sucked into the change where I realized like this thing was trying to like seize hold of me. And I just kind of stepped back and I realized like all these social medias, all these websites, these are tools to me, and I use them. And if I just need to be aware of the way that they use me, and like you don't use me, I use you. You serve me. You know, you are a service. You are a service. I am, and I'm not your slave. I don't know, something like that. The dope we build up. Why even culture click? I mean, did someone say Haga? Esport. Made that tool. Yeah, that's what you do. Well, I mean, we are just gonna keep going and see what happens, and that's kind of what I say. I don't have any strong. There's only so many different things. I mean, that I can do. It's like one thing I really care about, and one thing I like to, like one specific thing I like to do on this channel is I kind of feel like the algorithms are getting people not used to discussing a difference of opinion, right? And I mean, that's one thing that's always kind of been here, where it was like, whether we're just talking about games or we're talking about something more serious, like, you know, I like conflicting and opposing viewpoints, but I like good discussion about them. And it's like, you're not necessarily going to change each other's minds on a lot of stuff, but you can enlighten each other. You can expand the understanding of each other and one another, and kind of grow yourself as a person. And I feel like social media is not at all designed to do that, and that's kind of troubling. It's like, I'm kind of happy because I feel like we're able to do that here sometimes, but yeah, I can't. But if I would fight the dopamine buildup of stuff, I would say if I had a kid, I mean, I don't think it's changed that much, right? It's just like, you would probably help them build strong self-character. You know, you would help them be independent, like, and like, I think if you kind of instill the right lessons into like a child or something like that, like, you just need to consider like the effects of social media amid all the stuff you probably usually be teaching them. Yes, echo chamber indeed. Hi, Joro. We're back on heck. It's here, but you don't take him too seriously. He if you ever like, Joro makes himself sound or is he saying, I missed him saying social media is an echo chamber. Oh, you guys said it at the same time, right? Twitch is also an echo chamber, apparently. Designed against it, culturally frowned upon to have actual discussion. Well, yeah, because you don't make money with actual discussion. You're not gonna make any profit. You're like, if people come onto your social media platform, they see things and they don't, you tell people what they want to hear to keep them around, right? And you create a utopia for them. You create a perfect space for them, and it's like, come here, relax, here's a hammock, here's some grapes. Would you like to be fanned by two waifus with you know, giant leaves or whatever, you know? And it's like, okay, just sit here and just, you know, watch these ads, and let us collect data in order for us to do this better. All right. I mean, I guess the other thing is like very, very strong. And then like, once you do that and you've supercharged everybody into little niches, and they find people who exactly think like them and think that this Zelda is a 6 out of 10, and they think this Zelda is a 10 out of 10, and there's no in between, and they hate the other party. And that's just like a lighthearted example, right? I mean, you can get into more serious subjects, but it's really the same thing. And now that like you've got these supercharged perfect utopias, you expose them to like their absolute dystopia, and they're just like, what? How can there exist somebody who is just like the complete opposite of my opinion on this? Well, I have an entire fleet behind me who is already like 100% agrees with me, and we've found each other. Now we must go to war, right? And they're like, war is good, especially they have war on your platform, because that's just more money for you. Like, that's your profit. Hey, Antandra, what's up? Oh, things are going good. It's just, I'm ranty. I'm so ranty. But you guys are giving me so much good ranty stuff. Clickbait is king. I think clickbait's funny. I want to make more clickbaity YouTube titles. I'm going to go back and make more thumbnails out of videos people like. It's just, because that's what YouTube is. YouTube is a thumbnail, and YouTube is a title. And the clickbaity. And then after that, I don't know, maybe like a 10-minute video. But I don't care about video length or whatever. But, God, and now I try to find an informational video. It's like 3 minutes of information, 7 minutes of preface and like and follow, just so they can, like, appease the algorithm. Content for robots, man. Content for robots. Oh, man. Master Agent Miyazaki, hello. Welcome. I would like to make a living as an artist. Difficult with social media. Illusion, you can do that easily. It can help. Social media only cares about itself, making money. Anything you can produce is not only secondary to that, but completely ceases to matter when it stops making them money. Yeah, basically. I mean, the thing about it is, like, I'm not sure how to phrase this, but there could be something in that where, like, I think they do keep in mind things that might make them money that they don't realize make them money yet. But yeah, I mean, I think what you're getting at there, Ducky, does kind of come into the strength of, like community now, and like connections that are less robotic and more genuine, which is kind of one of the things I liked about Twitch, and why this was the first time I guess I ever liked a social media site. Our accountability matters a whole lot more, and sure, there's a bit of robots and numbers and whatnot involved, but you have to like connect with actual people in some fashion more than most other places. And I don't know, I just kind of dug that. Twitch got to me. Well, we won't. So Jeff was over the other day, and I was like, "Oh, Prime Day, yeah, let's do it." When I grow up, I want to be Jeff Bezos, okay? And I'm not gonna let anything stop me, right? I don't know what I'm saying. We are the echo chamber. Take our voluntary dopamine hits on the payroll. I mean, well, it's not Twitch, it's Amazon, right? And I realized, oh God, there was another thing I realized today. So there was Amazon Prime Day. So like I've got Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime lets me store more VODs, and it's just better for me as a Twitch streamer. There's a Whole Foods near me, which is usually prohibitively expensive, but like now that I have Amazon Prime, it's more worthwhile to shop there as well than they had. And then like the Amazon site is so fast that I get like dismayed when something's like one day later than it should be, and it's just, I don't know, it's just a crazy thought how much of my life belongs to Amazon now. Well, they just decide to cut off the Jeff feed, or the cut off the Prime feed. Bezos means kisses. Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, right. Twitch is a different culture compared to other platforms. Even trolls are way less hostile. Yeah, well, that's because it's desirable on Twitch. Like, Twitch isn't really about, and I mean, anonymity can have its pluses, and like anonymity on some sites, right? Or just like a screen name that you can like easily change, or like, or the nature of content on YouTube where it's like a diatribe, right? Not a conversation, right? Where you're there and you talk for 10 minutes, you talk for 30 minutes, you talk for an hour, and you're kind of like on the podium or you have the stage, and people comment and you may or may not listen to the crowd, you know? And then like YouTube, when you, like, it's different. Like this is a conversation, you know? Like this is a form of discussion, and it's like, it's actually desirable on the Twitch platform to not be anonymous, right? Like, kind of the whole point here is to find communities you like, find streams you like. I mean, you can be like a passive viewer in streams too, right? And you just have somebody you like watching. But then, like, I mean, even a lot of their monetization, a lot of the ways they monetize the platform, like, a lot of that stuff pushes towards connection. A connection that I try to be very careful with, because it's not exactly like knowing somebody in real life, even though it can feel like that sometimes. But even then, I think it's still like probably the best type of one of the best type of connections I think you can just kind of raw go out and make on the internet. And that's just like another thing I've just liked about the platform. Crit watches in the corner of the room. Hello. Enjoy as you please. Jeff Bezos is basically Omnicore from Roboto. I don't know Omnicore. What's the Omnicore? But yeah, Jeff Bezos, he's my overlord. Like, oh my god, like, you figure maybe at least 4 days a week, I spend like 6 hours on Twitch, right? I get most of my stuff from Amazon. I get my food from something owned by Amazon. I was like, and that gets back to what I said, right? Where companies rule the world. What are they gonna buy? What are they gonna buy next? I don't know. If they buy Postmates, then like by other, then the more of my days devoted to them, and then they just need to buy like, I don't know, Amazon buys Unity or something like that. But the company that made RoboCop. Oh, I was really young when I saw RoboCop. I don't remember it very well. I probably should rewatch that later. A third of the internet currently runs on Amazon servers, and that number is always going up. Jeff Bezos rules the world. That's a third. So you got to figure if so much of because like we said, if so much of your life is on the internet now, right? Or it's just kind of like this abstract place is actually like, because you could lose your job due to what happens on the internet, you know, or you could meet the love of your life. Maybe a positive example on the internet, you know, you can find out many things that will change your real physical life on the, like you know, like if half your life is on the internet and half of the internet and a third of the internet is on Amazon servers, that means Amazon owns, what's the math on that? Like a sixth of your life or something like that? Like you're dependent on them for like a sixth of your life, potentially, you know? It's like, that's where all the power is. Amazon, Tesla, Disney, Apple, Samsung, Comcast, Micro, Cisco. Yeah, dude, with how angry people get about Star Wars, you know, 'cause that's the other thing we were talking about earlier, right? If people get that mad about like the changes, if the things the IPs, the intellectual properties you love mean that much to you that you're ready to go to battle, but like Disney's just kind of scooping all those up. Like Disney has a lot of mind share, right? Pleasure sold to Amazon. Never offend Lord Bezos. Use Twitch Prime to what did I say one day? Like, use your Twitch Prime to vote for like use Twitch Prime, vote Joshachu. I think it was something like that. Don't bring up Star Wars. Elon Musk connecting our minds to the internet. IRC chats are similar for me. IRC channel is a server project. Enjoy joining a channel, meeting random people, having internet. Yeah, I mean, I almost feel like, I don't know if I've given this enough thought yet to like have a definitive opinion, but I kind of feel like it's just really healthy to create a desire for non-anonymity, for account, to make accountability desirable. And I think Twitch has succeeded at that. And like, yeah, and like what you're talking about is kind of the same thing, Rim. And I think like that creates pretty healthy space where I've had trolls come back to the stream, and if I treat it like, you know, they'll come and they'll roll in. They usually roll in packs of 3, right? And they're trolling and they're bashing, and they're dropping inwards or something. They're trying to upset you, and you're just kind of like, and you just kind of like set them aside. And like I handle it like, you know, pretty well. And then like sometimes one of them will come back and they'll be like, "Hey, sorry, I was here for a bit after that. I should kind of like your stream," and because it's just the environment's just different. But yeah, mine connected to internet. It's not far away. Walmart, Monsanto. Oh, I mean, Walmart's bigger than most countries. Pledge today for free. Get 10% off your next order. Sell your soul to Amazon. 2018, 3+ years solo project. Stopped developing completely. It's a good degree in the summer. My prominent wanted to develop Twitch. Spitballing ideas some weeks got me back in game development. Still have no motivation to start again. Yeah, because it's like, I mean, it's like a genuine environment, right? And And that was kind of my thing. Because, like, when I first started getting into indie dev, I made a Twitter. I went to Indiecade, and I was like, oh, there's a lot of other indie developers. I didn't realize it was so big. I made a Twitter, because I wanted to see what other indie developers were doing. And then that was in the middle of the Gamergate, Anita Sarkeesian stuff. And I was like, this is not fun times. I want to dissect the design of Pac-Man. And I was like, oh, this is stupid. And then so, like, I still left the internet alone for a long time. And then eventually... eventually I wandered into Twitch. I think I always kind of watched some speedruns here and there. And then I found out there was game development. And then suddenly I was streaming games in game development. It just kind of seemed to happen, but yeah.